Tornadoes. This is today's daily live mood journal. I'm still bipolar one. Sorry, I'm in a weird place. I'm in a gazebo, or like here. I'm at a arboretum, and like nobody's here, but I keep feeling like somebody's gonna sneak up on me or something, or it might just be the squirrels. So, anyways, my name is Conrad, and I have bipolar one disorder with psychotic features, and this is my daily mood journal. Uh, I come to remind myself that I have the disorder and try to give myself some sense of grounding techniques. So, hi. How embarrassing. It's like 30 degrees out, you know? And I pick one spot, and it's like, Shirley, nobody, not Shirley, that probably was Shirley. It's probably her name. You know what I mean? I pick one spot where I thought there's nobody this can pop up. And it shouldn't be embarrassing. What do I care? Just sitting here doing a show for you. She doesn't have to know. She never will find it. She might be more embarrassed than I am. Anyways, I'm on my run. We have a really nice arboretum in the town that I live in, and I'm out trying to get some exercise even though it's cold. And I was sitting here thinking, I sure hope somebody doesn't walk through, and of course, it's exactly what happened. It's already embarrassing enough when you're doing a journal, but it's like a selfie, you know what I mean? Like an extended selfie. Ugh. Out of, I get so many cringe moments from my stupid disorder. I don't need them in my real life, you know what I mean? I get so many. If you're like me, you think back to your manic episode and you're like, oh my gosh. So I didn't expect to be surprised by somebody walking through here, but that's what happens. Um, anyways, I got to rate my mood at like a 5-6 today. That's out of 10. We're going for a 5. We're always going for a 5, but 5 out of 10. The hardest thing that happened today, I went to church and that was great and came home, but the discussion with my wife about whether or not we're going to do Christmas with my family or not came up. And I guess judging by just the level of stress the thought of going brought on me should be the answer, really. I mean, I felt almost immediately like that sense of panic wash over me and oh no, I don't know what to do. Um, the majority, the fact of it is, after I've been trying to think about it on my jog here, is the majority of them aren't thinking of it at all, ever. And beyond that, the rest of my family that does, there's like, it's tiered. There's people who you know care for you genuinely and have maybe not even reached out, but you know, care. And then there's those that care for you conditionally. And, you know, I think that that's what's the toughest, because we're in a moment now where the ones that care for you conditionally are like my dad. There's this awkward feeling. If my dad and I could have a conversation prior to the Christmas events and work it all out, yeah, I think it's possible. Obviously, he got to see me at my worst, or practically my worst. And it's scary. It was scary for me, and it was scary for him to see his son go out of his mind, you know? And there's no book on how a dad is supposed to react. So there's this big part of me that judges him, but I'm trying to be like breathe through that and just say, you know, no, dude, don't judge anybody for how they react to you, because how would they know what to do? So, but since the incident and since the episode and since it's felt really like the relationship's fractured or broken to a point where I don't know who's supposed to apologize. What's up, Junior and Dinesh? I guess I'm definitely sorry that somebody as close as my dad had to witness me in my worst. You know, that something that if we get, I'm sure when we talk next, that's what I would say is like, dude, I'm sorry you had to see me like that. That's probably how I'd say it. But there's a part that I wish he would understand is I had no control once it got to that point. And I really don't have the greatest memory of the whole episode. It's all, I remember so much of it, which is good. I remember, you know, freaking out in a hotel room thinking that I was on like TV for everybody in the world to see, and, you know, thinking that I had the answers to how creation like started, you know, and then like what we're doing to poor people in comparison to rich people. And when it was like this whole humanitarian delusion that I had, where I had been there like the whole time watching humanity do this or something, you know? So, and obviously that was just that happens to a lot of us that go into psychosis with bipolar 1. But to explain that to somebody that's like, so I do have a memory, but it's mashed with, you know, other memories. And you don't even want to go back into them. Like, you want to do what all the happiness books tell you to do, which is like live in the now, let go of the past, all that. But it's really tough to, they're still too raw, they're still too close. So I think that for the time being, when it comes to my family issues with as regards to, you know, what we're going to do on Christmas with our extended family, I guess we're going to just be on our own. We're like, yeah, we didn't feel like, you know, just weren't comfortable coming this year. Didn't necessarily feel like, you know, I got one sister that has stayed connected, and actually two, and a brother, but they're not even going to be there. So why even worry about it? I didn't start with a gratitude check-in. I should have. We'll do a gratitude check-in right now. So I'm grateful for my wife, grateful for this beautiful gazebo arboretum that I'm sitting in, and for the embarrassing start to the show where I was sitting here talking to myself and somebody walked by. That's, you know, I can't see them coming, just heard them, and that was embarrassing. So keep you on your toes, I guess. What do you do when you have family that doesn't understand what you're going through, but also doesn't, it's okay to not understand, but doesn't care to learn what you're going through, you know? Just wants to write you off. But I have friends like that too. Um, I think that it's too stressful right now for me to want to go down that road. So too much happened, like, or maybe not even that much happened, or what we all knew was going to happen or could happen happened, and the amount of stress that I think go into my family's Christmas based on just the complete lack of communication since my past episode and my most recent episode. It's like it's classic sleeping. We sweep it all under the rug. Um, what's up, Heidi? Yes, thanks for understanding. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. It just is really hurtful, or maybe more hurtful when it's your own family. It feels like, but this that's another thing that these kinds of disorders, you know, a mental health condition, a mental health break, a psychotic break, when they happen, it's such a shocking thing because I'm not the same person I was prior to it. I can't be. Whatever I was before prior to it's what like led me to the condition. So changes have to be made, and sometimes people don't like change, I guess. Nobody, a majority, I think, or at least people I grew up with don't. So I'm doing my best to adjust to it, and one of the ways is by talking to you guys here. Even if no one's listening, I got to do this, you know, get it out. So it helps. But I got plenty to be grateful for, and I got plenty of family that still I know cares and would be oh hurt. That's a weird thing too. When you feel like by describing how you feel, you might hurt someone else. You know what I mean? Unless I was specifically calling out somebody, I don't see how describing my feelings about something would hurt somebody else's feelings. That's what has happened, you know. Like it's okay for separate individuals to have their own individual feelings about something and then move forward with life. Don't have to doesn't always have to be persuasive talk back and forth. So I don't know. You know, you don't always have to persuade. Like, why do you think for everyone to think a certain way? So, anyways, it is beautiful. It seems beautiful out today, but it's freezing out. So I'm gonna get back to I'm trying to jog home. Um, that's it for the mood journal. I'd say I was a 5. I did the gratitude check-in. We always end in affirmations, or we try to end in affirmations. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. But I don't have any affirmations offhand, any ones that are like written up. I have this app that sends me them sometimes, but I would say just know that it's like not permanent. You know what I mean? Know that whatever, even though it seems like it is, it's not permanent. That's okay too. So if you're in a tough one and it seems like even when you get good information, you're gonna stay tough. and just power through it. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Somebody's walking by. It scared me again. I thought they were going to come up here. I already got sneaked on at the beginning of the show. Nothing's permanent, guys. That's it. And so just every day try to keep the ones that are like wanting to be part of your circle, your tribe. You just need to keep those people next to you. Like, keep those people happy on a daily basis. Don't think that what you did prior to that makes up for it. Just every day kind of show up, even if you don't feel good and feel into it, at least for those who genuinely care when you don't feel good and don't, those people, just be honest with them and let them know, and everything will probably work out. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you enjoy following along with my sometimes stranded thoughts. I shouldn't have done this at this setting locate. Like, too many people will be walking by, and I have too much hypervigilance to not like have my head on a swivel, not care what they're thinking, like what that weird guy's doing in the gazebo. So, all right, be good to yourself. Have an okay day, and